and we'll get. All right, so if you're relatively new and you don't know how to overcome an objection or you've never like practiced that, you're in like receive mode. You're just listening, right? I just want you guys to like absorb, right? So when it comes to an objection, some basic stuff, right? We always affirm, answer, close. And what that means, or what that sort of really means, right? Affirm is just getting on the same side of the fence as somebody, right? Like, hey, Paulo, listen, I love that you have X, right? I love that you need to talk to your wife. I love that you need, like, listen, I do that too. Like we always talk about that because now if we're on the same side of the fence, you can't be mad at me. I'm on your side, right? You can't be mad at me if I'm on your side. And something to always kind of think about, guys, is picture like drawing the number six on the ground, right? And right, Apollo, you're over here, right? Here's your cool eyes, right? Right, here's your nose, right? You're looking at it right here. And then Randy's over here, right? Here's his eyes and his nose, right? Well, actually, that way, but he's looking this way and you're looking this way, right? If he's looking this way, he sees a six. But if you're looking this way from your angle, you see a nine. Who's right? Both of you, right? Well, I mean, yeah, maybe the one that like yells the loudest or the one that can punch the hardest, I don't know. But from your guys' perspectives, right, staring at each other, but looking at the same thing on the ground, you're both right. And you can't convince each other otherwise. You can't convince Randy that this is a nine until Randy comes over here and looks at it from this angle and he goes, some bitch, it's a nine, right? So that's the visual power of a firm because that's what it looks like. And that's what happens when you get an objection, you isolate it, and then you affirm. Okay. And so that's where affirm and then answer. So, hey, listen, right? I love that you need to do that, but just generally, right? XYZ, and then close. And so that's sort of like the biology of overcoming an objection, right? We have to isolate it. You have to figure out what objection you're actually dealing with, and then it's always affirm, answer, close. The affirmation part for most people is honestly the hardest part because it's not natural to get like objected to, told no, told you're wrong, right? And be happy about it. That's not natural, right? Oh man, listen, yeah, I love that, but I just want to think about it. Hey, listen, I love that you want to think about it. We always take time to process things. I mean, that's totally normal, right? I do the same thing. But can I ask you a question? Get a yes, right? Now I got a yes out of you. Perfect. When you're when you're generally thinking about things, how long does it usually take you? Like a couple minutes, a couple days, a couple weeks? People will usually throw that one away because it sounds ridiculous, right? Like, oh, yeah, I mean, I just need like a day or two. Awesome. Listen, so if you just need a day or two, here's what we're going to do. We're just going to apply so we can see how it comes back. I want you to think about it, right? I'll call you tomorrow, right? And go over anything. But that this way I can just call you tomorrow. It'll take like 2 minutes. We're already here. Let's just get the application in. We'll get everything done. And then when I call you tomorrow, I'll answer any questions you have and anything else. Sound good? Perfect. Who do you want your beneficiary to be? Ownership question, right? I didn't tell you you're an idiot for thinking about it. I didn't tell you like, no. Perfect. Listen, I do it too. We all do, right? But listen, I don't want to waste your time tomorrow and have to go through this whole like setup again. We're already here. You agreed that you need it, so let's just get this in now. And then when I call you tomorrow, it'll be super simple. Look, I just did it yesterday, right? I closed with a dude over the weekend, called him yesterday. He's like, hey, I'm at work. I was like, bro, I need 2 minutes. He goes, oh yeah, I got 2 minutes. Called him, said, "Hey, dude, listen, got everything in for you. It looks great. When I process this, your coverage will start. You're automatically approved, so no underwriting needed. And as soon as you're ready, right, we're good to go. What other questions can I answer for you that you thought about over the weekend?" Guess how many questions he asked me? Zero. He didn't think about it. He didn't actually think about it. Guys, that's just like the natural sort of like Heisman, right? That's just like a ref throwing a flag. Right? I don't know what I'm doing, but well, I can think about it. That's it. We're spring loaded to think about it. So listen, get rid of that question. Hey, this is what blah 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 blah. Blah. So what do you think? You just triggered a delay. You just created an objection because they're gonna go, oh man, I don't know. Let me think about it. But if you never even introduce that and you say, hey, listen, right, this is exactly what you guys needed. What we're gonna do today is we're just gonna apply so we can see how it comes back. Sound good? Perfect. Who do you want your beneficiary to be? That's it. Apply. Submit the application. Right. So we did this a couple of weeks ago, and I think what we came up with was that there's really only about, right, I keep notes, right? I keep notes. There's really only about 5 to 8 objections, and most of those are a variation of each other that you're ever going to get. Okay. And so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a new whiteboard and I'm just going to type them out and we're going to list them. And then we're going to go in order, right? So somebody's going to start and then we'll keep going, right? So overcoming objections. So need to talk to my spouse. So we'll just say talk to spouse, right? And then guys, if I miss any along the way, right? Just let me know, right? Because actually there's a couple of different sort of ways to look at this, right? So if your life sale, right, is one, and then overcoming an objection for like recruiting appointments. Okay. So there's a couple of different ways to look at it. So no money, right? That's one. And as I'm typing these out, right, we got to remember too that there is a difference between um, overcoming an objection versus a condition, right? Anybody want to unmute and explain the difference?
An objection is something you can overcome. A condition is not. So like if they're just broke, you can't overcome that. Or if they have like cancer or something like that, it's not an objection, it's a condition that won't get let them get approved
Very
regardless.
good. Very good, Haley. Thank you. So yeah, that's exactly it, guys. An objection I can overcome and a condition I can't, right? So the kind of the extreme example that I use is, hey, Apollo, dude, let's go for a run. And Apollo has no legs. Apollo says, hey, listen, I'd love to, idiot, but I don't have any legs. You can push me in my wheelchair, right? You can drag me in a trolley, right? Or something, but I can't actually run. And I'm like, oh, that's right, right? Hey, dude, let's go work out. Can you swim? Right? Can you put me in a backpack? Right? Okay, whatever. Yeah. Like, but you can't actually run without legs of some sort, like prosthetics, like yeah, whatever. But that's the point, right? And so, um, well, no time. Mm-mm. I think, all right, guys, is there any that I'm missing or any that you want or that you've heard that you want to like try?
The research could be used on recruit too.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Mm.
Always good. I just need guaranteed income.
Don't want a 1099.
This might take more than 30 minutes. Okay. What else? What else? Anything? I mean, that's everything that's on my list plus some of the extra ones that you gave me. So a lot of these are like actual like recruiting objections. Okay. So Apollo and Randy, you guys are off the hook, right? So Haley, you're up first on my little like Hollywood squares. So but since you're going first, I will let you choose. Tell me which one you want to do, and I'll let you do it. It's rare that I let people choose, Apollo. Normally I just put them like straight on the hot seat and I give them one.
He usually puts you on the spot and says, just do this.
Mhm.
I'll just do talk to spouse.
Okay, so go for it. So I will set you up with the role play, right? So we're on a KT. I like what you've told me so far, but I just want to talk to my spouse.
First, probably shouldn't have continued that appointment if it's one-legged.
Good point. Very good. So
Um,
one-legged appointment, guys, for those of you that are new, is if there's somebody that's married or has a spouse, they make decisions together, they share children, they share finances, whatever. You should never be on an appointment with just one person, generally, right? Because 99% of the time, that's a financial decision that's going to be made together, or at least it should be, right? Now, I will tell you yesterday, I closed yesterday and it was just her, but she also runs everything. So there's give and take, right? So you got to play that by ear. But if you're setting an appointment or you're going with recruits, like you need to explain and like sort of lock in that, hey, if we're setting on an appointment that somebody's married or like decision makers are together, they both need to be present. Just as a good example. So yes, Haley, perfect. Go ahead.
um, no, I totally get that. I would want to talk to my husband as well. You probably want to talk to Melissa about everything you make a decision on. Just generally, when would be a good time for y'all to be together to sit back down with me?
Um, yeah, honestly, I don't know. Let me talk to her and we'll figure all this out. I mean, all this makes sense, but I just need to talk to her and then I'll get back to you. Sound good?
Okay, you probably know her schedule a little bit better than she does most of the time. Is weekdays or weekends generally better for y'all?
I mean, generally, probably weekdays.
Okay, would tomorrow or Friday be better?
I don't know. Probably Friday.
Okay, morning or afternoon?
Mm. Let's do the afternoon.
Okay, how about 2 or 3? Does one of those work for you?
Yeah, I can probably do 2 o'clock.
Okay,
Hey,
what
good job.
I'll
Good job. No, you're
okay.
good. So the the only thing that I would have done a little bit differently in there, Haley, that was like 98.5%. The only thing I would have done differently in there was I would have gotten a quick yes out of me
Okay,
before you kept going,
okay.
right? So, because I can't even remember exactly what you said, but you said something, you affirmed me, and then you just went rolled right into it.
It was the you know her schedule better.
Am I right?
Okay,
Right. So like work to incorporate that in because getting that yes, it breaks me out of like whatever's going on in my brain psychologically. If I tell you yes during that thing, oh, okay, right? You win, and I get broken out of whatever thought process I'm sort of like going down.
okay.
Okay. So yeah, definitely get that yes, but good job.
That was much better than like 2 weeks ago.
Much better, right? That's the whole point, right? We're getting there. We're getting there. Paul, do you have a question?
Yes. What do you do if they say no?
I mean, at some point you got to just sort of like stop being pushy, but that's where like so had Haley kept telling me like, "Oh no, I'm not sure. I got to talk to him. I got to talk to him." Then I've got to do you a favor, right? I've got to do you a favor. Hey, Apollo, listen, dude, I know you need to talk to her, but if you're like in, most of my clients, you guys are probably together like sometime either in the evening or on the weekends. Those spots for me fill up really fast, but I want to make sure I've got a spot for you, right? That you think is at least basically going to work. So let me just do this for you. Let me pencil you in for tomorrow night at 7. And if it works, great, and you can make it, perfect. I'll see you tomorrow night at 7. And if we need to move it because you talk to her and find out, then we'll move it. But I at least want to hold you a spot because that one is going to fill up. Does that make sense? Awesome. So let me just pencil you in, and if we need to change it, we'll change it. But other if I don't hear from you, right, I assume it's good, and I'll see you tomorrow night at 7. You can't argue with me at that point because I'm doing you a favor. And I want to make sure I'm doing something that for you is generally going to work. That's that's the only sort of recourse at that point. Like, and very rarely have I had someone tell me no. Now, does that mean I'm going to probably reschedule it? Yeah, maybe. But the odds of me needing to reschedule it versus you showing up, I'll take 50-50 because if I don't get you on the calendar, maybe like 10% I'm gonna get you back, right? So that's where like getting it on the calendar is super important. All right. Michelle's dealing with the baby. I'm not gonna harass her. And Matt's driving. So Jen, which one you want?
Um, let's see. What about I need to do some more research?
Want to do some research? Okay. Hey, Jen, I mean, all of this like sounds great, but let me just do some research and I'll get back to you.
Hey, I think that's great. You got to do your research. Is there anything I could answer for you now that maybe I didn't cover when we were talking about the company earlier?
No, I mean, you did a great job. I just, I don't know. I kind of just want to take some time and like mull it over, maybe think about it a little bit, and then just sort of like do some stuff on my own.
Awesome. Okay.
Is there
Well,
anything you can send me? Like, I just want to read
I
something.
do. I have a few things I could send you to look over. If you were to take some time to do some research about, how much time do you think you need? Another couple of days, one day? When can we get back together and talk about some of that?
Um, I don't know. I mean, probably I can't imagine take more than a couple days.
Okay. Well, how is we're meeting right now about 9 o'clock. How's 9 o'clock on Thursday? Does that work for you?
No, I'm working Thursday, but maybe this weekend.
Awesome. Is morning on Saturdays or Sundays better or afternoon?
Af Definitely afternoon. I coach football on Saturdays. We got games and
Okay.
stuff.
How about we shoot for 2 o'clock on Saturday? Pencil you in there. I'll send you some of this research and you can do a little research and then we can get back together and talk about some of those things and then hopefully move forward and get you going.
Yeah, that should work.
Okay, I'll send you a link and then we'll get back together on Saturday at 2. And then I will send you a couple of things to look over in the meantime. How's that sound?
Yeah, I can live with that.
Okay, great. Well, I look forward to talking to you Saturday. In the meantime, you have any questions? Obviously, shoot them to me. I'm happy to answer.
Okay. So not bad, right? Not bad at all, right? Way better than when we did this the like first couple of times, like a week and a half ago. So your guys' confidence is getting better. Your like affirm answer close sequence is getting better. So solid, right? So that was do some research and sort of like want to think about it all in the same. Well, that was kind of a freebie because I kind of gave that one away earlier. Um, the only other thing that we can do on the research side, because I'm just going to tie these together right now, is especially if it's on a recruiting call and somebody wants to do some research, right? Because whether it's because you kind of did this one, right? The the other side of this one, I will give you guys here in a second. But if the research side usually kind of ties back to I want to talk to my spouse about it, right? And so the ways to kind of keep pulling and overcoming those is, I mean, hey, I mean, let's be honest, right? That totally want you to do that. Can I ask you a question, right? Get that yes, right? Get that yes train flowing again. Did your spouse know that you had an interview today? Awesome. Okay. And are they generally supportive or, right? Are you kind of like not allowed to make your own decisions? That's a weird sort of like a tightrope to walk, right? Because that can get very sort of like personal very quickly. And so just be careful with that one. But you can sort of play that by ear. So like, I mean, generally, do you like, are you kind of like the CEO of the house? Like if you're anything like my house, my wife kind of runs the show. I just kind of like show up and do what she says in most situations, right? You can sort of make that joke. Um, and female to female, you can kind of make that joke, right? Because you're assuming that she is, right? You're giving her power by saying that. And so like but that's where like for me, like that has to be very like very, very thin ice. But for you, like you can give that power immediately, right? Like Haley, right? Philip just shows up and does what she says. When I was in the army, that's kind of the way our house ran because I wasn't around and know what the hell was going on. Right? Hey, what are we doing this weekend? I don't know. Right? Or my buddy's like, what are you doing this weekend? I don't know. Let me ask Melissa. Right? I'll find out. I don't know. And so that's you can sort of keep pulling that, right? So Angela knows, right? And so like that's one way. Like, did they know you had an interview today? Awesome, right? Are they usually very like supportive, or how does that usually work for you? Yeah, totally supportive. Like I can do whatever I want. I run the house. Perfect. So they wouldn't be mad if you got an education in money and finance, got a license that's yours forever, started making some money, extra money for the house, right? All of that's in the script. So don't forget, right? Like if we're going through those things, like those are built in, right? Those are right there. Research on a KT, like I want to research this. It usually leads into I want to look at my other policy first, right? Hey, listen, I definitely want you to like do some research and think about it. But when it comes to an application, right, this is just a quote. We won't know how it's actually going to come back until we do the application, go through underwriting, and then have it back. Does that make sense? Perfect. So what I'd like to do is get that application in, get the underwriting process started for you. In the meantime, you can do as much research as you want, and I'll answer all of your questions along the way if anything else comes up. But when we get your policy back, we'll know exactly what it is, and then we can sort of actually deep dive into it because otherwise, I would just be telling you like generalities. Like, do you want like the actual like facts and the information, or do you want me to just kind of explain it to you in just like vague, sort of like general sort of how it works? My guess is if you're wanting to do your research, you kind of want to know the exact numbers. Am I right? Well, perfect. I can't give you the exact numbers until underwriting gives us a decision. And so for that, we have to just apply and see how it comes back. So who would you want your beneficiary to be? Right back in, right? Randy, listen, I'm gonna make you better at selling floors, bro. Like the stuff that we do doesn't matter what you sell. The nice thing about what we do is we don't actually sell. We educate and show value. Sales is a byproduct. Okay. And so that piece is nice because, I mean, yeah, like we have to sell to make money, but it doesn't really feel like a sale when you can teach somebody as much as we can and show them something that they've never seen before, right? So that's the big difference. Okay. So let's do who else is around? Emily,
Yes.
which one you want, girl?
All right, I'm gonna go out on a limb. Can I do it's a scam MLM?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a fun one. Apollo or Randy, have you ever heard this one? Like the overcoming of this objection before?
I haven't had the chance to read all those yet,
Okay, no,
but
you're good. You'll like
these
you'll
sounds
like
like
it.
fun to just try to wing anyway.
Yeah. Well, Emily, go for it, and then I will sort of like fill in wherever we need to. So,
Okay.
I mean, Emily, yeah, like this. I guess it sounds kind of good, but I don't know. I'm getting sort of like MLME vibe. I don't know. Kind of feels like scammy.
Yeah, sure. You know, Noah, I can completely understand your concerns, and um, I had to do my own research,
Mhm.
on the company before I decided to join. So I completely understand that. Can I ask you a question though?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So would you agree that if you went and did your own research, you could find, 50% of things that are good about a company and 50% of things that are bad?
Yeah, I mean, there's good and bad out there for everything.
Yeah, exactly. So if you did your research on us, you would find that there is good and bad out there. But can I also ask you another question?
Mhm.
Have you ever purchased a car before?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. And then does the salesperson at the dealership make a commission on the vehicle?
I mean, I assume so. Yeah.
Okay. And then another question, does the manager at the dealership make a commission?
Probably. Maybe salary, bonus. I don't know. But I mean, yeah,
Yep.
probably.
Probably. And then does the dealership make a commission with the sale of the vehicle?
Yeah, they make money for sure.
So our company is very much like that. I make a commission, my boss makes a commission, the owner makes a commission. Are those, are either of those companies MLMs or scams?
I mean, no, I mean, a car dealership's just a car dealership.
Right. So our business is set up the exact same way. We do make commissions off sales, but we are not a scam. We are not an MLM. We are highly regulated and we have to go get state licenses, and we're not a scam.
Okay, I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense. So hey, pretty good, right? I know where you got that from because I sent you the freaking Instagram reel,
I
right?
loved it. I loved it. I'm like,
It's
I'm
a good one.
using it.
So here's just some more like arsenal for you, right? And Paul, I'll get to you in a second. The thing that usually goes with that line of questioning is it kind of feels like a pyramid scheme, right? And so the way to sort of like overcome that is just keep a firm answer closing, right? And so
Okay.
Apollo, you can unmute, right? Because this will probably answer some of your question along the way, but play along, right?
Yep.
So Apollo, then I totally understand your concern about like pyramid scheme and that sort of thing. Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So can you define a pyramid scheme?
Sure. So a pyramid scheme deals with commonly illegal or false products that don't actually exist,
Hmm.
or um, when there's not really a thing there, and the other person above, you can't surpass them. You're always making money off of them. Um,
Pretty close. Yeah.
so
No, it's really
yeah.
good. Yeah. So I mean, like the actual like definition of a pyramid scheme is an illegal business
Hmm.
where no product or service is actually delivered or rendered, but money is taken and commissions and all of that are just taken from continually bringing other people's money in, but it's not actually from a sale or a product. Is that fair?
Sure.
Yeah. So illegal business where nothing is ever actually distributed. Well, Primerica is a publicly traded company, and we've been public for 15 years. We've been around for almost 50. And we pay death claims every day to the tune of, 5 to 10 million dollars. And the company is sitting on about $150 billion of client money and investments and annuities and college accounts, you name it. And we do a little bit of everything. So, Apollo, you would agree that if we're a publicly traded company that's worth about $9 billion, we're probably not a pyramid scheme.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, right? Cool. Cool. So, and then from like an MLM perspective, I can totally understand how you would think that because it feels that way, right? Like somebody comes in, somebody's making a commission off of somebody else from underneath them. Is that fair?
Yes,
Okay. Apollo, do you know anybody that is a realtor, like they sell houses?
I do. Multiple.
Okay, cool. Now, are they the realtor, like the agent, or are they the broker? Do they own the brokerage?
I know both.
Okay, cool. Perfect.
Hmm.
Let's pretend we're going to talk about your friend that's just the agent,
Okay.
right? When they sell a home, does their broker make money?
Yes,
Okay. When any of the agents inside that brokerage sell a home, the broker makes money, right?
absolutely. That's why they hire the agents.
There you go, right? So do your real estate friends work for a pyramid scheme?
No,
Okay. Is it an MLM?
no, they don't
Interesting.
recruit other realtors.
Okay, right.
And for the ones that I know,
Well, yeah, but the broker is going to, right? He wants more. Does the broker just want one agent in the brokerage or 1,000 agents?
they would like to have multiple. So the broker is actually hiring employees that work for them. The
100%.
difference in my understanding for MLM is the fact of being um, independent contractors who are predominantly making their money through sales and recruiting more people to their team. And that's where I'm saying that it's not MLM, but I see the correlation.
Yeah. So when it comes to like the what most people think of in MLM though is like they're mostly just concerned that somebody's making money off of somebody else. That's usually like the biggest concern, right?
Yeah, but that's
Well,
called business.
well, yeah, exactly. That's called business, right? And so
Yep.
usually what I say to that is, well, okay, well, most people are concerned that like the guy off the top makes all the money off the guy at the bottom.
Hmm.
Sound about right? Yeah. So like where you work, does your boss make more money than you?
Yes.
Perfect. Can you ever make more money than your boss?
Only if I surpass them and become the boss. So generally, no.
Generally, no, right? Like you can't walk into your boss today and tell him that you need to make more than him.
Correct.
Yeah, you'd have to get a completely different job.
Yeah.
Yeah. I make more money than my boss all the time because I'm really good at what I do. So if I'm making more than him, well, one, it can't be a pyramid scheme and it's not an MLM, right? Because if I really wanted to and I did it fast enough, I could pass him. So that piece is kind of cool also, right? So those are some of the best ways to overcome that, guys. But did I ever really tell Apollo anything? I did. I asked him a lot of questions, and through the questions, I gave him a lot of information, right? And so that's the important thing to kind of understand is if you're giving the information and you're doing it in the form of a question, it doesn't feel confrontational. It doesn't feel like you're sort of like playing this like one-upper type game. You're asking questions. That's why getting those yeses inside of that overcoming of an objection is so important. So start working that in, right? So inside of a firm answer close, right? Like if you got like a sticky note, right? Like right next to it, like right after a firm, like get a yes, right? Get a yes, because that's really where you break that like mental like thought process and you bring them back to you because they're probably getting distracted. They're probably thinking about something else. But if you ask them that question and they say yes, like, okay, well now I'm back. Okay. So there's some more that we will cover, but I want to answer any questions. I know Apollo had one, and then I've got to get ready for a 10 o'clock. So we're going to kind of cut this off right about here. Apollo, what was your question, bud?
So my question is because I'm overly literal, why is Primerica not an MLM?
Great
Right?
question.
So is it that we don't get paid for having recruits, as in for recruiting?
There you go. So there's a couple of reasons, right? And so one, we don't make a dime or a red cent, right? Nobody makes a cent to recruit somebody.
Okay.
There's zero financial incentive to recruit anybody. Now, you're brand new, you're in your field training bonus. That is the only time that you have an incentive to recruit anybody.
Okay.
After that, once you're licensed, nobody makes a dime. Two, you don't have to be a client in order to be an agent inside of the company. Inside of multi-level marketing, there are minimum like monthly sales requirements and product that you have to buy and
Yep.
subscriptions you have to have and blah, 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 blah. No, right? It doesn't exist. You don't have to be a client to be an agent. It'd be weird, but you don't have to be, right? It, only from the sense of if you're telling people how great the product is and then they turn around and say, oh, yeah, that sounds good. Like your clients, right? And you go, "Pfft, no,
Yeah.
that would
Then
be
why are you
weird.
selling me your stuff?
Yeah,
It's
then
not the
what? Yeah.
greatest. Yeah.
Like if you're not willing to own the thing that you're selling, you're not a good salesperson, right?
Yeah.
If you've applied and you've been declined, that's a different story, right? But if you're not willing to own the thing that you're selling, that's kind of weird, right? That'd be like driving like an old like I don't know, like beat up Chevy and working at a Ford dealership. That would
Yep.
just be weird. That probably shouldn't happen, right?
Yeah. Well, and all the Ford employees get benefits to purchasing a Ford. Yeah.
There you go.
Because it
So why are
helps.
you not
It
taking advantage
helps.
of it, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why we're not an MLM. It's really just a brokerage model. And all insurance brokerages, all financial brokerages, all real estate brokerages, they're all built the same way, right? Somebody runs the brokerage, they want agents inside. Well, the beauty is you're here now as an agent, but my job, if your goal is to become me at some point, is to turn you into me. And the
Hmm.
beauty of the Primerica model is that, unlike real estate, right, your best agent leaves the brokerage and the broker becomes broker because their best agent left and now they have to replace that. That's income they lose. Well, here, I promote you to regional vice president. You're going to leave me a piece of your business in terms of some licensed agents, but I taught you the business. I'm going to promote you to another contract level. You're going to make way more money. I'm also going to override you forever. So back to your question about why would that guy have made so much money off of Ian? I'm going to override you forever. Now, he would have had to have become at least a regional vice president. And then when Ian went out and did his thing, even as a regional vice president and Ian's a national sales director, senior national sales director, I'm still overriding him because he
Yeah.
came from me. That's the beauty of the Primerica model. Because you get big and you grow and you surpass me, amazing, right? But it's also why it's not a pyramid scheme because I can't hold you back. If
Hmm.
you run the numbers, right, and you earn the contract, you're getting promoted.
Nice.
I can't hold you back, right? Otherwise, Ian would have been stifled by that idiot that never even like got licensed. So
Awesome.
that's the beauty of it, right? That's the true beauty of it. But anything else, guys? I'll give you 4 minutes, right? Anything else? Questions? You're getting better. You guys are getting a lot better. And so we're going to keep doing this. I will take a snapshot of that and we will do tomorrow the ones that we didn't finish today. And if you didn't go today, you're going to go tomorrow. Is that fair? Cool. All right.
Put me down for Friday because I still have class tomorrow.
Deal. Deal. And we'll do them again. All right. Bye, guys. I'm around today, but I am literally in back-to-backs until this evening. So if you need me and it takes a minute, that's all. That's the only reason why. All right. Bye, guys.